So we saw Maybe Happy Ending again for the second time.
Mhm.
And we got the tickets for just $49.
Standing room only. There's a bit of a controversy with some of the casting in this current run, and stay tuned to find out why.
For those of you who don't know, Maybe Happy Ending won Best Musical
Mhm.
at the Tonys. And there's only 4 major casts. It's an
Mhm.
original Korean production written by book and music by Will Aronson and Hugh Park, who is
Yes.
of Korean descent.
Mhm.
It started in Seoul, Korea. And then the role... so would you like to discuss the plot quickly, though? Summarize?
Sure. These two retired helper bots in a somewhat future, are trying to figure out what their role is now, or if they're just going to be...
Because they've been retired.
Yes, they're retired. They live in this retirement community for helper bots, and a lot of the parts are starting to break down, and there's no more parts being made, and all that kind of stuff. So, what happens when you're no longer useful to society?
Right. So they discover humanity, and eventually fell in love too. So,
Oh,
so anyway, it's a great show. Like I said, it's supposed to be set in Seoul, Korea, originated by Darren Criss Oliver, who's the main character.
mm-hmm.
And for some of you who don't know that, Darren Criss is half Filipino. So Darren left the show, but I think he'll be back on November 12th. And they cast Oliver as...
Wait, before you get there.
What?
So, the other female lead is Helen
J.
Shen.
Yes.
And then usually the Oliver's
previous owner is still Marcus Choi. And then there's this jazz singer who is a big jazz singer and a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver is a fan of this singer, and so is James, played by Des Duran.
Yes, but in this production, we saw a different actor who was fantastic.
Right, James Tamayo, who is, I believe, of Filipino descent.
So as you can see, most of this cast is Asian. It's a very small cast. So here comes the controversy.
Oliver.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Oliver was cast after Darren Criss is being played by Andrew Barth Feldman, who became popular because of Dear Evan Hansen.
Yes.
Needless to say, if you haven't seen him, he's of Caucasian descent, I believe from Long Island, New York. There's been a lot of backlash and sadness because Asian representation is very lacking on Broadway.
Very minimal. It's hard to get a lead role. Nevertheless, a role, period.
Right.
So
I think we discussed this when we reviewed Yellowface.
Yes.
I felt like it's once every decade.
Yeah.
You get like an all lead or majority lead of Asian stars.
And then
especially with male.
oh yeah.
So this is the first time that a Tony Award actor winner of Asian descent won, Darren Criss, for this role.
This show did really good at the Tonys, period.
Right. But first, before we discuss the controversy of the ethnicity of Oliver, let's discuss Andrew first. In fairness to him, he is a good actor.
Oh yeah.
And a great singer. We totally loved him from Dear Evan Hansen. So what are the nuances though? How do we compare him with Darren? What do you think?
So I do feel we're talking about acting choices at this point, correct? Right. All right. I do feel performance acting choices. Okay. I do feel like Darren Criss was a bit more of a charming Oliver. While Andrew definitely got a little bit more of that awkward robotness. He's a
I
little bit
agree.
nerdier,
Yes.
which is fine. It's definitely a way to play this earlier version of a robot, which doesn't have the skills or programming technically
Of a human.
to be like, hey, I'm
Human-like.
caring and
Yeah.
charming and human like. Well, Helen Chen's character is supposed to have the ability to improv and be more human and that. So understandably, Andrew can play this from also Dear Evan Hansen.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree with you. I had the same opinion because of the nerdier portrayal of Oliver. I found it a little more comical compared to Darren. Darren was funny too, of course, but like I said, the more charming, the more like goes to Darren. I'm sure the girls would swoon over his performance more. But there's a certain charm about Andrew Barth Feldman. He's a good singer as well. Um, I think he's a worthy, replacement, but he's coming back. But speaking of, if you notice, I'm Asian descent, right? And I have some actor friends who play on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
So, shall we discuss? What do you think? Was it appropriate to cast Oliver
Well, I
as
enjoyed
other than an Asian?
well, I enjoyed Andrew in this role a little bit less than Darren. Sorry,
Right.
Andrew, nothing personal. I do believe that there could have been other actors that could have gotten cast to get that opportunity. They could have brought in Josh, who is a Filipino
Oh, right. And he's
actor.
gained popularity.
He's
too.
gaining popularity. He was just in Into the Woods in the Philippines. You
Maybe
might
there's
know
a
him
conflict too.
So
I think it's about the
it might
same
have been a
time
timing
too.
conflict with that.
Right.
But we also have from Outsiders.
Oh, right. I think he's half Polynesian and half Filipino.
I don't know
Yeah, I
how
can't-
robotic I would want to see him in a
Right.
role, but I'm sure there was some decision
Right.
of let's see what we can do, and then also you have this connection between Andrew and Helen because they're currently dating. So there's going to be
Oh,
another
right.
level.
There is
of,
that's one more good thing about you feel the genuine,
Yes.
connection with them because there's actual real connection in
Yes.
real life between them.
That
So-
what was it? He during an interview he said, "I get to sing to the person I love every single night," which is very sweet.
Right.
But yes, I do think that it should go back, and so I also want to see this world developed a little bit more. If anyone's listening out there, like I know we're probably not going to get more musicals set in this world.
Right. But before we
Yeah.
so what's your conclusion though? Was it worth it to cast someone else? Do you think for future roles it should be cast as an Asian only?
I would like to see it stick to a majority of Asian actors.
Right. Or at least when we saw it, there were 3 Asian leads. Gil
Yeah.
was played by a Filipino guy, so there's majority of the cast was Asian. So you basically think majority, right, of the cast?
There's only four
Right,
people that
right.
are on
You want
stage
3 out
ever.
of 4?
So at least 3 of the 4 should be Asian. It would be
Gotcha.
interesting. I do think you should keep Marcus Choi, who plays James, as
Oh yeah. I
an
mean,
Asian role.
he's supposed to be Korean from Korea, right?
We know that the jazz singer is a bit more flexible. Gil.
Right.
So
the ethnicity could be more flexible.
one of the 2 has to be, or should be, an Asian role.
Which goes back to the helper bots. They're robots.
Yes.
They don't have ethnicity. But if you're in Asia designing a robot, we know that the Western influence has a lot of pull towards Eastern society.
Yeah.
Like you watch a lot of animes. Me being a Filipino, a lot of us prefer the Caucasian look, to be honest. It's really sad, now that we're at the forefront of before we go, so with the robots, a lot of Asian societies, I believe, prefer that Western look, which is not fair, which is not pushing our own agenda. I am Asian. I've been complaining that we don't have a lot of representation living in here in America. Although with the helper bots, I agree with the creators. They themselves said there is no ethnicity involved. They apologize for it hurt a lot of the actors. I think they should be more flexible, but the two others, especially the one played by Marcus Choi, James, should be Korean for sure. I think it's more about how if the actor can portray. I'm sorry, my Asian brothers actors. I know you deserve more, but I should say that at least 80% of the time it should be played by at least an Asian lead. Um, but for me, it's not a big issue for these robots. To be honest, I'm sure my fellow Asians are gonna hate me for saying this.
Let's think about it this way, because I just
Right.
had this thought. So the choice of picking out the robot within the world would fall to James.
Right.
So it's James's decision on what Oliver would look like, being that he purchased Oliver originally. So
But
then
it
we have
depends
to
on the
think-
manufacturer what they design.
But you see,
though.
they have different
Unless they have
models.
cost. Yeah, again, they customize.
yes,
them.
you can- you
We're
can-
going further.
I know. I'm expanding the world a little bit just for the conversation.
Right.
So I'm thinking, if you were to get a helper bot,
Right.
do you think you would prefer to have this helper bot look
Like me?
Filipino, look like you, or
Well,
would
I
you-
married you, didn't
Well,
I?
I know that.
Sorry, please look. I'm sorry, we're going off tangent a bit.
But there are a lot-
Honestly,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
honestly, for me, it's not an issue. Whatever the ethnicity of the robot, it's a
Yeah.
robot. Okay, but for the sake of having more representation, making Asians having a mark in entertainment, in pop culture, in the United States and in Europe or wherever there's
Yeah.
where Asians are trying to thrive and live, we want our mark to make our mark in pop culture.
Sorry, we're gonna go a little longer. Coming from like a customer service background,
Right,
working all around the world,
right,
there were a lot of people that would prefer their, I'm sorry to say it this way, but help their workers to be able to speak and look like them. I don't know why, but there were people every once in a while who would get upset if
What do
they
you
heard
mean?
speaking another language,
What
because
do you
they
mean?
thought that they were being talked about in a
Who?
language. When I was working on the cruise ships,
Which group are you talking?
so
Which
every once in a while
ethnicity?
there were white people. Sorry,
Okay.
white people. Maybe not. We'll see. That would get upset when another language was spoken around them by a worker, because
Right.
they weren't sure what was being said, if it was being taught, they were being talked about. But meanwhile, if you understood the language, most of the time they're just saying hello, how are you, like getting rid of that whatever needs to happen,
Right.
communicating in a better form for them. So I could understand if, say it was a white cast production, if that white owner purchased a white robot, just so that they'd be
Would
like,
prefer.
you're not going to speak another language, you're going to speak what I understand.
Right.
So sorry, I'm going on a big tangent.
Wait, how is this connected with
So
with language?
I'm thinking Mark James, who was the owner of Oliver, might purchase an Asian robot because he wants to see himself represented doing these things that he relates
And
to.
we can tell from the show he treated him like a
like
son.
a son, which
Yeah.
is another huge thing that's happening in the show.
Right.
So it's understandable that.
I see your point as well. But overall, I just wish, especially for creators, for playwrights, for Asian playwrights, we want to encourage more and write Asian specific roles,
Yeah.
or at least the ones that are not intended for a specific ethnicity.
Yeah,
Be more open.
play around with it more. Like We just got the super interesting production of Into the Woods in the Philippines,
Right.
which I'm still waiting for.
Well, that was
pro shot.
customized too. If you saw the set
Yes.
design, the
Yeah.
photos, there's a little bit of Philippine
Exactly.
design on there, the windows.
So I would love to
and
see more opportunities
costumes.
like this.
Right.
Like some shows, no, you can't change. But like Cats is about to come out to Broadway, and it's going to be like, was it like the old
Okay, they're
drag
cats.
shows?
It's more about breeds as opposed to
No, but now it's not Cats.
Right.
It's a runway click and clack, clack, click, click, clack show. So
let's wrap this up before we extend.
Let's do more interesting productions with more diverse casts and see what happens.
Darren's going to be back, like I said, on November 12th. So mind you, Darren looks more Caucasian. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah.
A lot of people are probably surprised that he's half Filipino. But still, he is of Filipino descent, and he claims that as well. He's proud of it. So, which gives us Filipinos and other Asians to see someone like us playing a lead. I believe because of that too, we have a stronger voice when you have more representation.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, I guess it's a controversy and not at the same time. We could keep talking about this for like 3 hours, but we're not going to keep dragging you.
Right.
On.
So
try to get tickets before Andrew's gone and see what you think, and then maybe when Darren comes back, get tickets again because it's clearly rewatchable.
But for now, I hope they won't have a happy ending yet, but keep the show running.
Yeah, I think the show's going to go.
It's fantastic. I am telling you. As long as they cast the right lead, the show hopefully goes on for years as well.
Yeah.
So my name is Rod.
And I'm Fynn.
Subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next time.
Bye.